couple jobs based off of like your front porch. So people have driven by and say, yeah, I saw this in the East. Saw this driving down the road and I love this look.
That's great.
Oh, he woke up daylight savings.
No, it's like
They were so one of my kids were up at 4:30.
yeah.
Woke up at 4:30. So I could get up and so normally they go to church at 9. And then so normally the church at 9 is okay. And then 10:15, 10:30, I do Sunday school. I coach the nursery for second service. And then our son is Sunday school for second service type deal. So we're trying to do a double header on Sundays.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. We start every meeting with a pledge of allegiance. If you'll please rise and join us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next on the agenda is the public comment. If you want to comment on something that is not on the agenda, you may come up, but if you want to comment about something that's on the agenda, we'll give you time at that moment to do so. But you may come up and speak at this time. Please give your name and your address. And because we have a somewhat lengthy agenda and have to get the room set up for tomorrow, I'm going to ask that you keep comments to 3 minutes.
I did not time my comments.
That's okay.
I
That's
did
okay.
last time I was here and
Yeah,
I had 2 versions.
Yep,
but
okay.
I think I'm one page. Okay, Jennifer Clary, 337 Manhattan Road, which you probably know already because I was just here a couple weeks ago. I wanted to bring your attention to 3 things that have been on my mind following the last commission meeting on October 21st. I knew with certainty that the Parks and Rec plan would pass, so the comments I'm making are not regarding the decision, but more so missed opportunities to build trust with the community. So most of the meetings I've attended consist of a few audience members, unlike that one, which was a full house, standing room only actually. And the first hour or so was regarding the rewriting of the fence ordinance, which caused some heated discussion with a specific couple bringing up an issue from the past. And many or all of you had a comment, many including an apology, made directly to this couple. So I do not know the details of that, but it certainly seemed to show a more responsive side to city government, and so I appreciated that. An hour or so later, public comment opened for the Parks and Rec plan, and I think we can safely say that a good half of the audience or more was composed of Manhattan Road neighbors who were there in opposition to specifics of the plan for Manhattan Park. So some neighbors spoke. A neighbor in his 80s, mid-80s was there. A neighbor with some serious health issues made it to that meeting. Neighbors with their 2 young kids were there, and they all stayed for a very long meeting. I think that it was over 2 hours. And they stayed because they care about their neighborhood. So it was disappointing when that one commission member directly acknowledged that group as a whole. So one sentence like, "We hear your concerns," or "Thank you for coming tonight," or "We understand that you're concerned." What a unifying tone that could have set. So I, like you, have worked in the public sector, specifically public education, for 26 years. And one thing it sounds like we have in common is this scenario. We send letters to families, we email families, we put up signs and posters, and still some don't participate in school events as we wish. So is that it then? No, we find another way to engage them in the conversation. So there's always another way. The last issue I'd like to bring up is regarding a comment made in response to our concerns that neighbors directly impacted by the park changes in the plan were not represented in the planning process, even though there were some community opportunities. So regarding getting the word out, the comment stated was something like this, quote, "If all of us stopped doing our full-time jobs and just started knocking on doors every week," and the laughter that ensued afterwards by the commission was as surprising as the comment. A fellow neighbor and I did go door to door to let our neighbors know about the plan. I work full-time. Plenty of us have received multiple door-to-door visits from election candidates during the election season. So if it truly matters, then a way can be found. The Manhattan residents left that meeting disheartened and frustrated. What a missed opportunity to acknowledge their voices and get them on board. So thanks for listening. I truly do appreciate your dedication, your energy, and all of the extra time that you commit to running the city.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak that is about an item not on the agenda? Okay, seeing no one, I'll bring it back up here and have a report of the mayor and the city commissioners, and I'll start down with Commissioner Walters.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, and I didn't have this as part of my prepared remarks, I want to directly respond to Jennifer and say I'm sorry. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for sharing that and letting us know how you felt and how at least some of your other fellow neighbors felt about how that meeting went. It's important that we hear that kind of feedback. And on behalf of myself, I'm sorry that I did not do a better job of acknowledging. I was listening. I am paying attention. I care very much about what the group, what all of our citizens have to say, but especially the group of neighbors who would be most directly impacted by any changes at Manhattan Park. And down the road, as we look closer at any specific potential plans, you can bet that anything that I'm involved in, I will be listening very carefully to what that group of people has to say. So thanks for sharing that. In addition, I did want to acknowledge, it's shocking to everyone, of course, that we have an election tomorrow. But I did want to briefly echo a couple of comments that I also made on my Facebook page. First of all, I think it's always really important to thank both our city clerk, Karen Brower, who does an amazing job organizing our elections, and her team, as well as our volunteers. I think we have a number of volunteers who come in pretty routinely for elections to support our elections, and I want to make sure that I acknowledge and thank our volunteers. I also want to thank all of the candidates. It takes a lot of time and energy, way more than I ever understood when I first ran 2 years ago, to run for office, even in a small little town like this. And so all of the candidates have spent tens, if not hundreds of hours of their time talking with people, getting the word out, trying to share their vision and their ideas for the city. And I think that should be acknowledged. And I'm just really thankful that we have so many people that are interested in serving our city in that way. So thank you to all the candidates. And finally, I would say, of course, thank you to our community for being so engaged. I mean, it's really amazing when you not just drive around or walk around and see all the yard signs and what have you, but just talk to people. I think that people in this community are extremely engaged in our city government, and I think that's really a testament to our community. It makes me all the more excited to be able to serve as a commissioner.
Commissioner Miller.
So I'm sure you'll hear something about everyone, but I want just to thank you for coming to talk last time in this meeting. So I'm not going to drag it out, but I think Commissioner Walters represented many of my thoughts regarding our meeting last time. Also, just want to give a thanks beyond Karen to really Karen Brower and all of the staff that work through these things. It's got to be difficult to be a staff member during election season because everybody is talking about the electeds, but the reality is that most of the work of the city, thank goodness, is done by people that are professionals and do this work as their full-time job. So we're all very happy to have them on staff and lucky to have such dedicated professionals working here. And finally, I guess I will also thank the candidates. I've been through the competitive